Hey guys, Red Pen Mining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. Well, I got a sponsored video for you guys from Clore Ai. They wanted me to showcase their new service called Clore Fleet, where you can onboard your rig, your mining rig, like ones in Hiveos specifically, onto their marketplace, which then can be rented out, and people who rent your rigs can utilize Jupyter or Stable Diffusion, PyTorch, Hiveos, Dynex Solve, Memehash, different types of images here. You can even do a custom image if you choose, but there are many different workloads that one could rent out on your rig. But in today's video, I'm going to show you guys an example with Clore Fleet with a couple of my Hiveos rigs, but it really depends what type of hardware you have. Okay, so either you can onboard, host your, like a full-on epic CPU with a 4090, like you can do that type of machine hosting on Clore Ai. But in today's video, I'm mainly going to show examples of octominers with Celeron CPUs and, 8 gigs or 4 gigs of RAM, which really will only be utilized for mining. Okay, if someone were to rent out your rig on Clore Ai's platform, which I have been earning more on my 6x3090 rig here, which I've been testing out for the past week. So currently someone actually is renting out my 3090 rig right now for almost 2x the profitability than if I were to be mining Xelis. Okay, I'm going to be showing you guys how to set this up, and just to show you guys here, my 3090 rig that I have on Clore Ai right now, rented out. Okay, it's actually being rented, I think, for almost $8 or so. Okay, so I have it on automated pricing. I'm going to be talking about this throughout this video, but right now it looks like it's rented at about 85 Clore. So if I were to go to CoinGecko here and just type in 85 Clore, that's worth about almost $8 USD a day. If I were to go to hashrate.no, 6x3090s mining on Xelis would earn about $3.50 a day. Or if I were to mine a Leo, it'd be about $6.29 a day on 6 3090s. So for me to be earning about $8 a day on this 3090 rig right now, I'd say is pretty cool. But is it constant profitability? No, not everyone's going to rent your rig every single day. But I'm going to talk about the automatic pricing here, which is like going to be on demand. And based on the profitability, your rig may change in terms of its pricing on the marketplace. So let's go through and set up a Hiveos rig on Clore Ai. Okay, so first you're going to want to create an account. Okay, I'll have a link down below to the website for you guys to, you need to register an account. Okay, set up an email, password, all that stuff. Okay, so once you log in, you're going to be presented with this area here. If you go to Marketplace, you're going to be presented with like new order, but this is where if you would like to rent out, okay, rigs that are on Clore Ai. But this video, I'm mainly showing you guys how to install the Clore Fleet, which is really easy, okay? So we're gonna go through now, go to My Servers, okay? Then we're gonna go to Mass Onboard, okay? This button right here, okay, on the top right. Then it says here, Mass Onboarding. Before Mass Onboarding, please read this article, which I'll have a link down below. You guys can read as well if you have a hard time following. But now we're gonna click on Hiveos. Now we have to select the pricing model. They're static and also mining profitability based. So I would recommend, okay, since we are gonna be using our Hiveos rigs like these octominers with, not very high-end CPUs or RAM, we're gonna be going with the mining profitability based. You can do static, but I would recommend that for, I'd say more higher end stuff like 4090s, and like maybe comparing it to like Vast or other platforms out there that are doing more static pricing. You could compare it that way. I highly recommend go watching the Mining King. He will also have an amazing video on how to set up Clore Fleet as well. So link down below to the Mining King. Okay, so once you click on, mining profitability based, there's going to be a configure offer specifics. So this is where you could play around with this. Currently, I have mine set at 2x. Of course, you guys can change this setting. Next is going to be the maximum rental length. So this is going to be any number that you wish someone could rent out your rig. So I'm just going to put, 200 hours. If someone wants to rent it out for that long, I'm all for it. Now, there's a few settings here which are paramount, very important for those that are going to be renting out their rigs, specifically Hiveos rigs, okay, like mining rigs, to the Clore Marketplace, okay? So we're going to explain each of the settings here. Override offer specifics on each machine reboot or change of configuration. Okay, so according to Clore Fleet's documentation here, with this option, you won't be able to edit server prices through the Clore Ai website after onboarding. So if this is selected, we will not be able to adjust the price through the My Servers area here. Okay, we won't be able to change it, the settings, the spot pricing, automatic pricing. We can't change it in the web GUI here. So then the price adjustments will only be possible by changing your unique authentication token set as a wallet address on the Hiveos platform. So this can be good. Let's say you have a lot of the same mining rigs with the same GPUs like I do with all 3070s here, where the authentication token will be under one Flightsheet, okay, which I'm going to showcase here in a second. So the authentication token, which is private, okay, don't share it with anybody. This is just a test account for me, but this is just a showcase to you guys. This authentication token does change when you change the these three settings here. Okay. Anyways, I want to showcase the web GUI changing the automatic pricing on the website here through this process. So we're going to leave that unchecked. Next, use overclocking and power limits from Hiveos for orders by default. So this is one you will definitely want checked as we are using mining rigs. Okay. And depending on the type of hardware that you have, 3090s, 3080s, 3070s, you don't want someone who's going to rent your rig to go full bore power consumption on your rig. Okay. This is not for we're not renting these out for AI workloads, stable diffusion. So, the 3090s, because of the CPU bottleneck, the RAM, they're not going to be able to use these rigs for mainly, those types of workloads, just mainly for mining. So we definitely want to choose this because, if selected, your power limit and core clock memory clock settings will be copied from Hiveos. This option is crucial for miners who do not want to lease their rigs at full power limit. Okay. Note, enabling this option will automatically list your server on the power efficiency market on the Clore Marketplace as a specialized marketplace for mining servers. Okay. And just to show you the different marketplace, it's under market and you can click on, mainline, which are like the full TDP type of rigs that have, Xeons or Epic CPUs, Ryzen 9s, those types of mining rigs meant for like AI compute workloads, not for mining. But then if you want to change this to power efficient, this is going to be tended towards people who want to rent out your mining rig for mining that have Celeron CPUs, 4 gigabytes of RAM, like these Octaminers that we are setting up. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense about option B. Okay. This option, which I'm going to be checking because it's a mining rig again. Now, third option, keep Clore Ai running even when the miner is disabled. Okay, so this option I am going to keep on. Now it says here, this option allows you to remove the Clore Fleet from the Flightsheet as it will still be working in the background. It is designed for miners who use custom settings that are not officially supported by Hiveos, such as mining a Leo. And that is because right now Hiveos does not have the native support for a Leo. You have to do a custom miner, right? Under here, if you guys see here, you have to go Aleo and then you have to do a custom miner, right? Because with Clore, okay, which we're going to do the Flightsheet right now, it's already a custom. So you can't have two custom miners under one Flightsheet, if that makes sense. So you can't have Clore Hosting and Aleo. But in today's example, I'm going to show you guys with Clore and Xelis so that it can do the automated pricing, okay, automatic pricing, which really helps get your rig, in my opinion, your rig rented on Clore Ai. So those two options I check. Now we have to create the Flightsheet. Okay. So the Hiveos Flightsheet. Okay. We're going to click this copy button here. Then we're going to go to Hiveos. We're going to go to Flightsheets. We're going to create a brand new Flightsheet here. Okay. So we're just going to click on the clipboard button. Okay. And you got to hit allow probably on your browser. And okay. So we got to add the wallet. Okay, so the wallet is going to be your authentication token. Okay, so we're going to click on the right button here to copy it, your authentication token. Again, don't share it with anybody. Otherwise, they're going to have access to your server or, do nefarious stuff. But again, mine here, go ahead. If you guys want to copy it, this is just my burner account. All right, so we're going to go back to the Flightsheet. We're going to add the wallet, add the authentication token. Okay, is the address here. Okay, we're just going to call it Clore Auth. Token, you guys can call it whatever you want. And we're going to hit create. Okay. And then everything else, you just stay the same. If you go setup miner config, it's already all presented with the installation URL. So now we're going to be adding a miner to our flight sheet here, because let's say your rig's not being rented. So at the same time then, whichever coin that we're mining, and you guys can choose any other coin except Aleo, because again, it uses a custom miner. You can't have two custom miners on one flight sheet, is that it's going to gather the profitability from hashrate.no. Okay, so that's how it depicts the automatic pricing structure here and puts it on the on-demand marketplace. Okay, so Xelis, we're just gonna choose the mining pool that you mine to normally as normal. Okay, this is for you. Once it gets rented out, it's gonna turn off this Xelis mining. Okay, so once someone rents your rig, which I'll show you right here. Okay, normally if I'm mining and it's not rented, it would show my Xelis hash rate. But because now that it's rented right now, it's not showing anything here. But I can see, since this is an Octominer, I do see the power consumption that it is using, which is pretty cool. Anyways, back to the flight sheet. Okay, we're gonna create the flight sheet now, and that's it. Okay, so next we're gonna go to our worker, and I'm gonna choose the rig that I want to apply this flight sheet on. Okay, and we're gonna go here. Okay, worker updated. All right, so now it's going to do its thing. We're going to go back to overview here. Okay, now what I like to do, and I had to do, was Hive shell start. Okay, just to make sure the installation takes effect. It does take a good 5 to 10 minutes based on your internet connection, because it is going to download a bunch of stuff to install Clore. Okay, all the software for, I guess, the Dockerized containers that people are going to be utilizing on your rig, mainly for mining. Okay, so once you HiveOS shell in, okay, I'm just did HiveOS shell just to remote into the rig. We're gonna go now type in miner. Okay. Okay, so it's already downloading everything. There are some cases, depending on which version of HiveOS that you have. I'm using 5.5.15. There is a new HiveOS stable version, which they do recommend doing. I've seen some people have issues with it. Some people did not have issues with it. But in any case, if you type in miner, and if it says yes or no to install, then you have to type in Y and then enter. In this case, I didn't get that error. Okay, so sometimes you may need to press Y and enter after you press miner, okay, to log into it, because it may not be installing. But in any case, in this example, I wish it did show it, but it's already going through and installing the Clore software on this mining rig, and it's gonna take a couple minutes or more, depending on your internet connection. Okay, so it is downloading gigabytes of files. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you guys have a bit of space, ample space, especially if you're going to be doing mining. But if you're going to be doing renting out for AI type of workloads, then you are going to want to make sure that you have enough space. Okay, so while that is installing, okay, I'm gonna let this wait, and we'll come right back. Okay, so after about 7 minutes for me, it is now done. It should say Clore Hosting System running. Okay, so if I go to my HiveOS here just to verify. Okay, so it's mining my Xelis that I specified in the rig. And it also has the Clore-hosting here. Okay, so now if we go back to here, now we can close this. Okay, this page that we were just talking about, saying these settings, we can now close it, hit the X, and it should take maybe a minute or two. Should be pretty instant. That if you refresh the page, I'm just going to Control F5 here. I should see the GP risers are 8 here. Yes, so it says not rented. Okay, and if we click into it. Okay, then it says here, oh, I have a state. Backend is not up to date. When you have free time, please update. Okay, so maybe after about a minute or two, it will say the state will go back to backend is up to date. So give it some time. It needs to connect, it needs to sync, and it will also sync up your automated pricing, or the hash rate that you're able to achieve on your mining rig. Then it's going to calculate the on-demand price multiplier and spot multiplier that we already did in the initial setup, right, on that screen you guys saw, which is 2x here. And you can change this if you want. Okay, you can easily just highlight it and apply changes. Seems like I do like 2x, so I'm going to keep it at 2x, but you guys can change it to whichever number that you want, maybe a little bit lower, like 1.5, 1.7 or something. Just test it out. And I guess it's all going to be based on like the demand, of course. So who knows if this is going to be constant or not. but it looks like my rig is actually already rented. Okay, so I looked at my rig here, okay, on HiveOS, and I don't see any hash rate to my Xelis. So that is an indicator that someone is renting it. Okay, and the power consumption's at 721, so that's a good sign. And then I saw over here that, yeah, someone is renting the rig already at 61.3 Clore. 61.3 Clore would be about $5.94 USD. So somebody is already renting my rig, all right, not rigged, all right, this is not rigged, a little bit more than what I would earn if I was mining Xelis by itself. So $3.42 on an 8x3070 rig, and someone is already renting it out at 61.3 Clore on demand pricing. Okay, so $6 a day. I think that's a win. That is definitely a win. Now, is it constant though? That is the question. If we look at the definition of about on-demand rental, it says you can rent a server at a fixed price set by the host. The server is reserved for you. The server remains available to you until you cancel the contract or your balance is insufficient to continue the service. Then they do have the spot market pricing, a quick transaction at auction rates. The minimum price is set by the host, usually lower than the on-demand rate. The server is not reserved. A higher bids can outbid your offer. Okay, so yeah, so this is, you know, it may look good now, but maybe in an hour or two, maybe someone, you know, decides not to rent it anymore or runs out of funds. And yeah, so that is cool. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to add more rigs here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just moved over a couple rigs first, 2 more. So I got 4 of the rigs connected now, and apparently they're all rented, which is quite amazing. But now I have just moved over 9 more rigs. Okay, so you can see the 3 that are rented plus my 3090 rig on my other farm. So these ones here, they are just installing now. So I'm going to see if they are installing the, I guess, the Docker dependencies, all that stuff. So yeah, it looks like this one is, oh, look at this. Okay, perfect example. Okay, so sometimes you may need to hit Y and then enter. Okay, look at this. I have an overwrite one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit Y, enter. All right, so some people may get some messages, right? You need to log into your rig, type in miner, and then this will come up, and hit Y and then yes. Okay, so now it looks like it's installing, unpacking Docker, you know, this kind of stuff here. And so I may need to do that on the rest of my rigs here. I don't think, yeah, if they're not showing up, if you don't see your other rigs show up here, you know, yeah, so I'm expecting I might have to do that on the rest of them here. So I'm just going to log in to all of them. Okay, miner. And yeah, see, this one has an overwrite as well. So I'm going to hit Y and enter. Okay, so good troubleshooting method, good troubleshooting here to showcase to you guys. You know, you may need to, oh, I already did this one, number 4. So yeah, you may need to do this as well. Okay, so if you have an issue of your rig, and sometimes if you can't, you know, log into your rig, you might need to enable SSH or web access just by going under settings, and you can enable web access there. User 1, and I'm going to type in miner. And it looks like this one is still installing. So that, see, this one I didn't have to type in overwrite. Now, yeah, okay, so hopefully, okay, now it says Clore system host running on this one. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going through all these, and we're going to see if these all eventually show up on Clore's marketplace here. And if I refresh, I should probably start seeing a whole bunch of rigs showing up. Okay, so now this one, number 7, I need to enable SSH and web shell just so I can go into it by clicking on it. Okay, now I can get into it. Hopefully, let's see. Yep, advanced show user 1. All right, so I'm glad. See, this one's overwrite too. So I have to press Y, type in Y and enter. Okay, so yeah, I might have to do this on, yeah, on the rest of them. Okay, so I'll be back and we'll see if I can eventually get all these connected. And yeah, a few of them are connecting, so this is a good sign. Be right back. Okay, so I've had some fun over the past bit here trying to get all of my 3070 rigs. I got 12 RTX 3070 rigs in Octominers, okay? So I'm having issues with 2 of them. 2 of them are not able to join So I'm getting this error here, Docker installation failure. So I had success with the rest of them just hitting the S to overwrite and it installed successfully. But these two rigs, I noticed that they are on the latest version, stable version of HiveOS, kernel 6.1. Now, that's also with the other one I'm having an issue on, number 12. Okay, this one's unable to install as well. Docker installation failure on 6.1 HiveOS. But everything else, I had success with these other ones here, okay, that are on 5.15 HiveOS. So maybe might want to check it out, or I'm going to try just, I don't know, having a fresh install on the SSD on these two rigs that have 6.1. So that might be the reason why. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a Linux person, but if you guys get that issue, see if you can try and this issue here, try to just, reformat the SSD and get it installed. But otherwise, guys, I have, I have 10 on here. Okay. And looks like a bunch of them are rented, but 4 of them are not. So if I go to my HiveOS here, okay, we can see the 4 that are not rented, we can see that they're mining to my own Xelis. Okay, we can see that here. But the ones that are rented, we can see that they are not mining to my Xelis. So therefore, that means someone has rented them. Okay, you can see it's rented here. And that means that I'm earning Clore. And that means I'm earning double, I think, than what I am supposed to earn mining Xelis on these. So look at this. 68.3 Clore, okay, on this rig here. So 68.3 a day. So that's $6.62 USD a day. All right, that is still more than what I would normally mine Xelis, about $3 a day, and or even better than Aleo, actually. So that's actually amazing. That is actually amazing. But you guys can see here, not every single rig is rented now. Okay, I have 4 that are not rented. Okay, well, essentially 6 because I'm having issues with 2. But I'm going to reformat my SSDs another time and see if that works. So it's good that I'm showing you guys that I'm having issues, and hopefully that may help circumvent some issues that you guys might have if you have issues trying to onboard Clore Fleet, which so far I'm liking it. So far I love it that these rigs that are rented, they're earning double because I put 2x against my initial profitability. So, funny thing, I thought I would look up my rigs. Okay, so I'm in incognito mode. So if you try to search up your own rig on the marketplace, it's not going to show up while you are logged in. So you got to, open up an incognito browser and then search up your GPU. So my 3070s, for example, I have it here. I can uncheck 3090, 3070 only. And then you want to do minimum reliability, just all the way down to the left, because obviously when you first start, I think your reliability score is going to be really bad. And then I'm going to do power efficient because because my overclocks are they are undervolted. Okay, so they're not at the full TDP. So it looks like I can see one of my 8x3070 rigs here. Okay, look at that, $6.44 USD a day. So actually a reason why I think my rigs are easily rentable, or we've been seeing it rented, is that my pricing is much better than majority of people who have their rigs on. So this guy has 3 3070s for $4.76 USD a day, while I have 8 of them for $6.65 USD a day. So that's why. Yeah, and I can see a few. I can definitely see a few of my rigs here, which is really cool. Okay, and so one thing I should do actually on all of the rigs actually is you can do let's see here, there's a lot of stuff I haven't gone through yet, but internet connection speed, you can request a benchmark and it will do the benchmark, and that would then show up on this part here where you can see the internet speed, okay, download and upload. So that's good to do. Then just going through other stuff here, you guys probably don't need to change anything, but there is the part here that says overclocking. Modifying the stock profile leads to delisting of the mainline market. Your machine will only be available on the power efficient marketplace. This is for hosts that are not able to reach default power limits. Okay, so I would, not touch this if you haven't already, based on the overclocks you have for mining like Xelis, which I have here. So, the more power efficient, overclocks. And so it looks like it did import into here, which is really good. And then looks like here, this is where you can see your income. This rig I don't have rented. Let's go to one here. Let's go to my 3090. Okay, 3090 rig is definitely rented here. 85 Clore a day currently, 85. So that's about $8.24 for 6 3090s. So yeah, that's pretty good. So one last thing I want to showcase to you guys is the proof of holding system. Okay, so if you go to the marketplace up here, you can also see POH rent. Okay, proof of holding. So as you're earning Clore, okay, so as I'll just show you guys my account here. Again, I'm going to nuke this account. I'm going to get a new one anyway. So I have about 545 Clore so far. And wow, I can see my earnings are going up now that I've added more rigs. This is awesome. But I can actually use this Clore to then use on the proof of holding system. So this is to experience the rewarding benefits of our unique proof of holding solution designed to incentivize and empower users who hold Clore coins. So you can use their POH rent, and you could essentially like rent out your Clore, and yeah, you can then earn more Clore just by holding it here, essentially, which is quite interesting. So this is something where, yeah, I'm not going to do an example here, but this is a way to also increase your holdings, especially if you're already, earning Clore. Why not use it against, renting the Clore as well as your rigs, which have been earning Clore. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting, so that you could get more Clore. Okay, my friends, I think this video is definitely long enough. I think this is definitely an eye-opener for me. I really do like this, in which my GPU rigs can earn double than what I would normally do by mining like Xelis or something, or definitely better than Aleo, what we just looked at, right? So my 3090 is just a final example. I've already said this, 85 Clore roughly a day. If I search up my, 3090s, okay, 3090s, go here, and it says with 6 my 3090s, I should be earning about $6.62 mining Aleo a day. Or if it was Xelis, about $3.57. So for me to earn about $8.24 on USD in Clore a day, that's definitely better than mining so far. So I think lending out my GPUs so far seems to be good. Now, is this going to be great for you guys? Well, it's going to depend. If we go to statistics here, okay, they have a web page here. It's opendata.clore.ai. This is where they show all the rentals. So how many GPUs are online, total GPUs, they have 16,061 as of recording. So if I just put on like a good 100 3070s on, it's interesting. Like it's interesting. After this video, I'm very curious how many more people are going to put their rigs on. But I may put the rest of my rigs on here on Clore as well, because why not, right? It seems like if the Clore marketplace is going to have, it depends, right? If Clore is going to have that demand, is Clore going to have a lot of people utilizing these GPUs for some type of workload that people are willing to use, whether it's a Stable Diffusion, PyTorch, Jupyter, HiveOS, or for mining, right? A lot of different things that, looks like you could do here for people that rent these rigs, right? So there is definitely value here on this platform, and it's all going to be dependent on if there's going to be that demand, okay, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, my friends, that's it for this video. Link down below for you guys to sign up on the Clore.ai marketplace. Let me know if you guys are going to do it or not, and for anyone that's been using it already, let me know if you've had great success or not. Okay, so I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one. Peace out. Come on, somebody rent the rest of my 3070s.